Adventures in Consciousness by Jane Roberts. And these are just a few pages at the back of the book. They're in the appendix, and I thought they were kind of interesting. So I'm going to be reading them. It says, Class Session, Tuesday, January 29, 1974. Who is Seth? I put this question to you. And what magic is worked here that you work, and that we all work together? Now, I will tell you this. On the one hand, I am someone you do not know, lost before the annals of time as you understand it. On the other hand, that is what I am, and that is a loaded sentence. On the other hand, I am yourself, so through me do you view and meet the selves that you are. And so I rise in your terms from the power and antiquity and the glory of your own being, projected outward into the world of time, from a universe in which time is meaningless. So, I am what each of you are individually, and I am what each of you are en masse, and I am what the world is individually and en masse. So when I speak with my voice, with this voice, I speak with all of your voices, and with the knowledge that each of you have, and the knowledge that the world has. And so, what you know is translated into the area of space and time that you presently recognize. So I bring up within you great rushes of emotion and being that arise from the knowledge of your own existence. I allow you to reach portions of your own reality that exist beyond space and time. Each of you, then, do project upon me those characteristics that are your own, in other terms. And so, I am a multidimensional being, as you are multidimensional beings. I am myself, but apart from that, I am also what you are. If all of you, at this moment, denied my reality, I would still be what I am, and you would be less. I would be less also, but I would still be what I am, and you would still be what you are, and you might find other ways of contacting what you are. You would not be lost, nor would I. Through me you sense your reality beyond the reality that you presently know. Through you, I remember my reality in your terms, and yet I can never count on it. It is not done and finished, for as you grow, I grow. Seth too grows. TWO. Seth too grows. You grow beyond me, beyond my reality even, into other worlds that you do not presently know, and I grow into other existences where we cannot meet, but here we meet. I return you to yourself. But beyond that, there is indeed a new framework in your terms, ladders that you can climb that lead you not from mountain to austere mountain of dogma and denial, not from nirvana to nirvana of denial and non-being, but instead I offer steps, alive and glowing, that lead you to further reaches of yourself. These are not steps created by a god or devil or guru, but sent out and protected by you through the centuries, steps born of your living selves that lead into the knowledge of your ever-growing beings. And so therefore with joy do I speak to you. With the joy that is alive and knowing, I speak with the voices that, in your terms, come from centuries yet unborn. Yet these are the voices that you, yourselves, have whispered from the fossils of your being, when you were, in your terms now, unthinking selves, on sunlit cliffs, in worlds unknowing. And projected by your desire, these voices then speak to you and urge you to your own fulfillment. You have allowed something to become transparent so that you can step through yourselves. Use the energy of this voice as a lifeline and as a road and as a message, and follow it in whatever way you choose, into your own experience, into your own greater reality. I will suggest certain images, but if others spontaneously come to you, then follow those. But imagine, those of you who want to, a pyramid. See it reaching into unimaginable distance, and realize that it is a channel into the antiquity and future of your being. Within it, you will find yourselves that are so advanced they seem alien, and selves that are so spectacularly simple that you cannot relate to them. For there, in the deepest reaches of your being, is a greater reality that knows your present existence and looks upon it with the fondest and dearest, the most familiar of memories. A reality that has grown in your terms into entities indescribably vast, realities that form worlds more complex than the one in which you now dwell. And yet also through this channel of being, you will also find fossil shells that are not yet cells, that have not yet grouped into complex organisms, but that lie filled with the desire of being, filled with the desire of God for fulfillment and thought and complexity. These lie inert in the history of your craniums, still to be born in the knowledge of your being, selves in your own terms still to be realized, wandering in the bowels of unknown worlds, selves that will become entities. Fossils of yourself that still exist, in certain terms, contain memories of the selves that you are. As they wander in what seems to you to be a dark world, as they seek toward a sun that is your brain, as they journey over unknown cliffs, seeking recognition, so do you wander within worlds of greater selves that you are, seeking for the rays of other suns that are the brains of your own greater being. So are you all one, and so is my voice speaking from your own greater being, from which you are forever born and always reborn. Even in your secret and most private dreams do you form new selves with desires that lie latent in unknown worlds, and rise, groping towards new possibilities, so that you are couched tenderly in the soul of your being. Return now to yourselves as you know them. Experience the divine privacy of the selves that you are. Those selves are the corner of your being in which all intersections occur, and in which the privacy is forever maintained and unique. Do yourselves just honor, and in so doing, you give directions to selves not yet born, to fossils that are thoughts still unfreed from your own minds. Enjoy yourselves and the gods of your being, in which you are forever safely couched. End quote. We took a break in here, and class members began discussing their own experiences as Seth was speaking. All of them were caught up in feelings of transcendence, and to one extent or another, each of them sensed the private self as a hub, a chosen point of focus around which other realities spun in spontaneous order. Rick, one of the students, said that Seth's statements reminded him of something he'd read about Vishnu, a Hindu god. Seth interrupted, quote, "You dream of Vishnu and dream dreams of the god, as the god dreams of creation. So all are one, and all are individual, for the cells dream of the gods, and the gods dream of the cell, and you dream of your own entities as they dream of you. The smallest cell in you dreams of your reality and helps to create it. As you dream of the smallest cell's reality and help create it. From the power of your own being springs all its developments and all gods and all realities and the power of the present. End quote. Rick turned to get a better look at Seth, and Seth spoke to him directly. Quote, "You move your hand and touch your face, and what realities do you stir? And what seasons do you cause to fall upon other worlds? And how, as you lift your finger and touch your face, do you stir ponds of reality? What frogs sit by the ponds that you have stirred? And what winds blow with the power of your thoughts? How your reality stretches out from this moment to other worlds. For you are, and because you are, all being is. Your lips curve and tremble, and the muscles move across your face, and as they do, the wind blows in other universes. Your reality is now, and your thoughts are footprints in other worlds. You leave messages when you so much as lift your head or say hello, and listening, others will lift their heads and say, 'What a strange wind blows.' So do you, hearing my voice, say, 'What a strange wind blows. From whence come these winds?' Listen to me now, and in so doing, listen to yourselves. You come through as I come through. You are not non-beings in a God's dream. You speak and the God listens. You are the God that listens. From you, that God, that all that is, learns what is happening in your corner of reality. You send messages backward through the fabric of time and space, which is also, in your terms now, the fabric of that God's being. So again, the smallest cell in your finger or toe sends messages to you. And you, even if unconsciously, make adjustments in response. And so, in those terms, and using that analogy, do you send messages to that God as to what is happening in your corner of the universe, and that God makes adjustments accordingly. In your present state, you are not aware of the intimate, alive being of the cells within your body, but the Godhead of which you are a part is aware of your reality and takes the messages seriously. So there is a constant give and take in which your being changes the experience of the Godhead of which you are part. Within yourself is a history of all being, the birth of consciousness, in your terms, ever being born. The grace with which you sit before me is so secure, so nonchalant in its physical integrity, and yet what small selves uphold you. And yet, how you ignominiously ignore the cells within you as minute and grant to them none of the functions of creativity and development that are your own, but let them flicker out one by one. And what happens to the proud physical moon of your brain? In your terms, their existence is as sacred as your own, and through the scrutiny of your eyes and the beauty of your mustache, and in brackets it says here a smiling Seth pointed to Jerry, who had an elegant mustache. So I'll start the sentence again. And through the scrutiny of your eyes and the beauty of your mustache do the gods know themselves and live through the smallest hair upon your head. And indeed, through me now is Seth too, given voice, a voice that you can understand, and a lifetime is being thrown to you that would have been thrown down to yourselves from a time in your terms not yet born, and yet you have created it. I am the voice of your world in its past and future as you think of it. Because of that, I am your own voice in its past and its future. The rocks cannot speak words that you hear, and you do not listen when your cells speak to you. So I speak humbly for them, and I translate for you the archaeology of your own being. Hear then the fossilings within your spirit speak. End quote. During the session, Seth's voice sometimes thundered out, sometimes it fell to a whisper. The sense of extraordinary energy had never been more apparent. Students experienced their own reality in ways impossible to describe and equally impossible to forget. If you consider Seth as independent in one reality and as a representation in the psyche at the same time, then the session is an excellent is an excellent description of the psyche from the inside, given by a prime aspect as well as equipped to look inward through the psyche as the focus personality is to look outward. Here we catch glimpses of an interior world of the psyche that is as complicated and rich as the exterior one is. One, in fact, from which the world of sense springs. I call Seth a trans-world entity, a personogram. So, for me, the subject of his reality is twofold: his separate existence in his own dimension, and his existence as it is reflected in the psyche. Seth's personality as expressed through me would only be a part of his reality. Beyond that would be his own nature. Again, I suspect that Seth's greater identity somehow includes Sumari, Seven, and Helper, and that they are further expressions of his overall reality, also operating his as aspects. Seth often directs Sumari, for example, answering a question in his own way, and then stating that a Sumari explanation will follow. So far, I can only get the Seth material through Seth. Again, though, in other terms, Seth is an aspect of me. And does he speak for me in other worlds?